Good evening, and welcome to tonight's episode of Order Arcana. I am Wes Babcock, your Dungeon Master, and I am here tonight with Seth and Tila and Matt. We are short and Ansley this evening, so
short indeed.
Wish her well, and we hope to have her back with us next week to play Riven. But for tonight, I just want to once again mention two fantastic creators that have contributed to this stream greatly. First, Tabletop Audio. Most of the audio sounds that we play on the stream are courtesy of or from Tabletop Audio. You can check them out at tabletopaudio.com and get some really great sounds and audioscapes for your games as well. And also to Tattoos by Alexis. You can check her out on Twitter and check her out on Instagram. She does fantastic artwork. She did all of our character portraits here that are on our neat initiative cards that we have new for this week. So definitely check her out. Get some artwork done. You will be most pleased. I guarantee it. So without further ado, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. Last time we met our heroes, we had a pretty interesting excursion in Sharn. You got a couple of jobs verified by House Thrash so that they would be official on the books type jobs. And you headed out to Caliston, which is in Lower Dura, and that is a really shady, seedy part of town. You ran into a group of, I don't know if you would call them organized crime so much as they're just people that take advantage of the fact that there is no law, and they do illegal gambling, and they like to punch each other and fight each other and just all around be sort of stupid. But they also told you that because you participated in some of their games of chance and fought in the ring, that they would tell the other pickpockets and sneak thieves and people like that to leave you guys alone anytime that you were in Calistan. So you can mostly travel pretty freely there without having to worry about having your stuff stolen, which most people cannot do. You made your way after hanging out with the Clash to a tavern called the Rusty Ratchet, where you engaged with a few of the patrons of the inn of the tavern before a were-rat burst out of the kitchen and began attacking a recruiter from the Clifftop Guild. You managed to subdue the were-rat and realized that he was really just a coward who had been paid off by a mysterious lady in a black cloak with a green brooch to scare off these recruiters for some reason. He didn't know why. She didn't tell him, and he actually gave you what he had left of the gold that she had paid him, and you tied his ass up and you hauled him off to jail. And after that, you began making your way through the Bazaar district, which is where the prison was, or the jail was that you took him, the watch outpost, and you made your way into a bar for a celebratory drink for Oligar on completing bounty, and you met Fergus and Durgus Simpike of the Witch's Teat, who are a halfling and a human who claim to be brothers, and they refer to a portrait over their bar of their tavern that is most definitely of a troll, and they say that that's their mother. They affectionately refer to the painting as Mom. But as the night wore on, you celebrated together and eventually headed out and made your way back to Lower Tevix Landing to the Captain's Daughter, where you are currently have rooms rented and have been staying. So unless you guys have anything else that you wanted to do, we'll pick up waking up the next morning. Everyone, yeah.
I need to hang out at the bar for a moment.
Okay.
And the reason I'm doing that, I need to take a look around and see if there's any fishy-looking people around.
Sure, give me just a perception check.
Would I have finished my bottle of vanilla wine?
That is up to you.
14.
14? I mean, it's not... let me do that.
Yay, us.
It's not extremely obvious to you if anyone's looking shifty. I mean, a lot of the people here do look a little shifty because it is sort of a sailor's bar and a shipman's bar. But you don't see anybody that sort of catches your eye as anyone that you're looking for.
Okay. So, trying to remember the owner of the captain's daughter's name.
Silas.
Silas. Do I see Silas anywhere nearby?
Yeah, he's at the bar.
He's at the bar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll probably try to get Silas's attention and get him to get me a drink.
Okay. Yeah, he comes over. Gendrix, glad to see you're still staying with us here at the Captain's Daughter. What can I get you this
Good evening, Silas. Can I get a glass of wine or?
No, of course. Red or white?
Red, please.
All right.
When he gets it back to me.
He comes back. It looks like a sailor's jug. He pours out. Sets. It's in a beer mug.
Thank you. And I'll take a little sip of it, and
It's cooking wine.
it's cooking wine.
Yeah.
I'll
It's not great.
force it down with as good of a fake smile as I can put on. And
Sure.
I want to ask him. So, how's business? How's the atmosphere around the tavern?
Oh, well, I mean, we have, I mean, you can see we've got pretty good business coming through at this hour. We've got most of the rooms full. I mean, I guess we're doing all right.
Oh, so with business being as good as it is, I'm sure people must be, trying to muscle you out of some money from time to time.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's normal, I suppose.
Normal. So you do have.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Fuck. Gendrix is a terrible bard. That's still a 12.
He sort of looks at you and goes, kind of leans in, like leans on the bar, and puts his hand on his chin and goes, well, we he goes, when I opened this place, I real quick found out if you don't have somebody watching your back, that it's not good.
I see.
And I met a little fella from called himself Gavil.
Gavil.
Yeah, he was one of them Boromars. You familiar with who they are?
I am. I believe so. I think I've heard the name Boromar.
Well, anyway, they down here in the lowers, law and order ain't so much a thing. I mean, obviously, you go in certain places down here where trade comes through, whatnot, you'll find a lot of watch members because they're protecting the money. But where everyone else is, watch don't give a damn. So you got to find somebody who does. And the Boromars, they're not good. They're bad people. They're real shits. But
That's why I've heard the name.
But the people who pay them protection, they take care of them, make sure that people aren't robbing your place, or make sure that people aren't causing a ruckus, or trying to take you out or anything like that. If some upstart came in here and wanted to build a bar like mine, they'd probably make sure that he wasn't able to do that.
I see. So they not only protect you, but they protect you from certain competition.
Yeah. It's like that.
I see.
But
Sounds like a good racket.
Well, it's not. I don't know. It's probably good for him, to be fair. But the thing is, a couple months ago, I had a little bit of a fracas with him, and told him that I couldn't afford to pay him anymore, and so I just started watching my own back. Well, I think they realized that at least this neighborhood, not really much for, not much for making them a lot of coin. I think they had to put in too much labor for the amount of money that they were making.
I see.
So anyway, they've kind of laid off the area a bit. But anyway, these new folks have been making their way over, and it's it's just this new fella. He's different than everyone else,
Different, you say?
Yeah, he ain't so much into it for protecting people. He's more in it just to make the money. Threatens to do bad things to you if you don't pay up.
I see. And when was the last time that you had such an encounter?
Well, he was in here a few nights ago. Little halfling fella. Goes by the name of Stibbs.
Stibbs.
Yeah.
Huh. It's a good name for a halfling.
I guess. Says he belongs to some fellas called the Tinlong. I don't know what that means. I hadn't really heard of it, but it seems like they're a bunch of little shifty assholes that they just want to try and steal from folk. That's all.
I see. Well, if he comes in again and I happen to be here, would you mind catching my attention and pointing him out to me?
Sure. Yeah. I could easily do that.
Very well. Well, I'll pay up, and I suppose I should be going to bed now. We've had a long day.
All right.
Thank you, Silas.
All right. Well, have a good evening. And it's not raucous, but it's a good evening in the pub.
I would probably finish my what I'm going to finish of my wine, which would be just another couple of little swigs, just to kind of keep up appearances.
Okay.
And look around and take in the atmosphere, and probably go and play a little music for everybody before I
The
head off to
same
bed.
the same halfling is there with his clawfoot raptor playing the dulcimer.
Okay.
It seems like he may live here. Like he's sort of like the in-house. But he kind of, as you walk over, he says, "Oh yeah, hey, let's see if we can stir him up again."
Yeah, sounds good.
Give me some fucking money.
All right. Did you finish your bottle of wine?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be a 16 for the performance check.
Oh, yeah,
We don't have to go through the whole thing.
Yeah, you make you actually pull in about 10 gold.
Nice. All right. I give him 5 of them. Just
Okay.
Good playing with you.
Oh, always. Anytime. I always welcome a friend who can add something to the performance.
Excellent. Good to hear.
Anybody want to do anything else?
No, actually, I've just gone upstairs and I'm just laying on the bed, still cradling the bottle.
Just cradling the empty bottle?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna go to my room and see if I can't figure out how to take this mage armor potion apart and recreate that.
And so actually be able to make the potion?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just learn the spell? Or do you already know the spell? You might already know the spell, I don't know.
Do I have to know the spell to be able to?
You do
like-
not. You do
Okay.
not. In fact, tearing a potion apart is a good way to learn a spell that is not that is outside what the sorcerer table tells you can learn.
Then I will do that.
Okay.
Take that apart.
Like Mage armor.
All right. So go ahead and roll me 2 things. First off, you're going to do just a straight intelligence arcana check,
Okay.
and the DC is 12.
12 plus 5, 17.
That's good
Okay.
enough. Yeah, you so you get to your room and you set up your alchemy supplies in your alchemy kit and you start working and you're able to distill down the ingredients to what their base components might be. Now the next thing that you need to roll me is going to be it's going to be a wisdom check, but it's wisdom nature. So if you're proficient in nature, you would get your proficiency bonus
Okay.
for the nature roll.
Oops. That's gonna be an 11.
Okay, yeah. Well, DC, since you passed the other one, the DC is still the same, so it's 12. So you do have a pretty good understanding of the potion, but you're not quite sure that you could recreate it. But you do know enough that you could attempt to make it, and you do know what ingredients you would need to make it, but you're not quite sure like what the percentages are and like what the exact boiling temperatures of that you need for different reagents and things would be. But if you attempt to make the potion instead of just being able to make it like you would a healing potion, then it'll be a roll to see if you can kind of figure that out. But you succeeded enough that it's not a total failure. Like the ingredients aren't lost or anything like that.
Okay.
The potion is gone though. Anything else?
Crafting failed.
I will go to bed.
Okay.
I don't actually sleep, do I?
No, you go through the night like making more of these little potion vials that you put spell components into to be able to
But
cast
you
your
doing
spells.
them.
Yeah, back on
You must be able to get so
Silver.
much done.
Yeah, no, because she has to do that like while you guys sleep. If she doesn't do that, she doesn't recover her spell slots.
Oh.
Yeah, so if she spends the 8 hours that everyone else has to sleep, like doing stuff, she doesn't recover her spell slots
Nice.
because she runs out of materials. All right. Yeah, you all wake up the next morning. Benefits of a long rest.
Dope.
Ready to go. When you, who's probably the first one to arise?
Probably me, since I never went to sleep.
Okay.
I'd be probably right around in there because I only have to sit on the bed for 4 hours.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you guys kind of come down about the same time, and there's one of the barmaids that was dancing with everybody. She looks a little bleary-eyed, like maybe she stayed up a little too late and forgot that she had the morning shift today. But she's just leaned up against the bar, and she sort of looks at the two of you and goes, "Hi, the mail came through early today. There's a letter with that half-orc fella's name on it, Oligar."
Oligar?
Just kind of, he's been hanging out with you guys, right?
Yes. He's our traveling companion.
All right.
No sanctity of mail.
I think I might have given Riven a little bit of my sleep powder. She was talking in her sleep, and I thought it would maybe help her, but she's probably gonna be asleep for a while.
Sleep powder, what? How long does a sleep powder normally last?
2-3 hours, or a day, or two. It depends, but she'll wake up.
2 to 48 hours.
Somewhere in there.
I
She'll
see.
wake up.
And you're an alchemist.
Yes.
You're a good one. Don't let anyone tell you any different.
If your sleep powder lasts for more than 2 to 48 hours,
Call a doctor.
call a doctor.
She seems very peaceful.
Well, she's breathing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think so.
Well,
She was when I left her.
you think so?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, I suppose I trust you.
She just puts a mirror next to her face and just looks at it every now and then.
All right. Say, do you serve coffee?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I would very much like a cup, please.
All right. And she, you see, she kind of walks around back behind the bar into the kitchen. She comes out 10 minutes later with a couple of cups of coffee, sets them down. She goes, "Did you want any breakfast?"
None for me this morning, thanks.
Very well. And you, miss?
I'm okay, thank you.
All right. Well, you need anything for that coffee?
Take a sip of it. How's it taste?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it's quite wonderful. Thank you.
She just sort of walks off and starts taking care of her morning chores.
So, what time is it?
I mean, early morning, 8 o'clock. 9
Oh,
o'clock.
okay. We're not talking about like crack ass, like 6.
Probably not now.
Okay, good. Yeah, then I'll slowly wake up and
Okay.
mosey my way down.
Yeah. You guys, you have your coffee.
I'll take a jug of coffee.
Yeah, Oligar comes down. She's
Just did.
"All right, can I get you anything?"
A jug of coffee.
All right, coffee for you. Any food?
Yes.
All right, what do you have? Eggs, bacon?
Yes.
Okay, and everything. She just sort of walks up. She comes back a little bit later
She
with
Aussie?
like a tankard, like a liter tankard of coffee. So then I have a plate with bacon and eggs, a couple little plump sausages,
Oh yeah, sausages.
some heels of bread that have been toasted over the fire.
Oh yeah. I like this place.
You may want to bring him a couple more pieces of bread. He's going to be hungry in 30 minutes.
He goes, oh, hey, something to pack up for the road then.
Yes, that'd be
She
fantastic.
comes back a little bit later as you guys have conversation and everything with just a little sort of like cheesecloth wrapped up with a string tied around it and just kind of plumps it down in front of you.
Thank you.
She goes, Silas said with that friend of yours, you're good through today. So after today, you got to start paying. But,
I see. How much is it for a night here?
room's pretty cheap. Just 2 silver.
2 silver. I must admit I've become quite fond of this place. So I probably will continue staying here.
Silas will appreciate it.
How far are we from the sewers where the
So
ogre
the
things
captain's
are?
daughter is in Terminus, which is sort of the northwestern portion of Lower Tavix Landing. And then, so Cogs Gate is to the southeast of where you're at. So it's just one neighborhood over, one district over. And that's where all the tunnels are that lead down to the Cogs.
And then the dead hooker, I mean the mauled hookers are
They're over
In the
on
upper-
the other side of town. So if you can imagine, you have a horseshoe that's shaped like this. You guys are here. They're over here.
gotcha.
We're going to have to print out a map of Sharn next.
Yeah.
After he gets done eating, I'm going to let him eat first.
Okay.
Then I'm going to say, by the way, mail came for you.
Just drain the tankard of coffee. Mail.
He hands you the letter. It's just got your name in a very plain hand on the front. And then it's sealed on the front. It's just basically folded over in triplet. And there's a gray wax seal that has the seal of the rash stamped into the wax.
It's weird. I'll look at it, pop the seal,
Yeah.
open it up.
As you do, I need a con save.
Nice.
Oh, no.
It's too early for that.
You open it up, and you can hear the voice in your head.
It's a screamer.
As you read, it's one of those things when you read, if you think about a certain voice, then you can kind of hear the voice, and you hear.
Good news, everyone.
We looked into that other job, and apparently the house wishes you to go and find this ogre named Molbog.
I'm just gonna mold bug. And then keep
And then
reading.
it says, apparently he has been rousing the workers, and the city feels that he needs to be taken out. They have asked us to deal with this for them. And we figured with your recent success that you would enjoy parlaying that into another victory. I don't trust the house in this decision, but maybe you've turned the page at last. Oh
Here
my God.
comes the sting. Yep, there it is.
He says, good luck. I have the contract from the city. It will pay 250 gold pieces if you can bring the head of Molbog back to a City Watch station.
Well, that's something that'll wake you up.
I heard you say Molbog. What was that about?
So, who's up for a trip to the sewers? And I'll just kind of
The sewers again?
pass the letter.
I'll hold it so that we can both read it. Molbog in the sewers.
And you know that the cogs aren't exactly the sewers. The cogs are they're almost more of a foundry and a forge. A lot of materials come in and go down to the cogs to be worked, like different metals
Oh, I
and
thought
stuff.
they were the sewers.
But there are sewers that run through the cogs.
Yeah.
But it's not just a sewer. There's people that live in the cogs. Like the cogs actually has 3 distinct neighborhoods: Black Bones, Ash Black, and one other one that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But yeah, so there's actually neighborhoods in the cogs. There are people live there. It is very much not a great place to be.
Well, the more money we make, the more we can spend at the festival.
That is a very good point.
It's an interesting point. And it's close.
Yes, I do so love going lower into the city. That is one of my favorite things to do, I must admit.
As you say this, a woman walks up and says, may I join you for a moment, sir?"
Oh, but of course, my lady.
She sits down. And she's a probably in her early 30s human woman, maybe a little on the plump side, but she's not like hideous. She's well dressed. You're kind of like, whoa, this is a weird place for her to be, based on how she's dressed. And she says, "Am I correct in assuming that you are Gendrix of House Fearlon?"
Yes, that would be a very good assumption. Thank you for asking.
It is a correct assumption?
Yes.
I have heard. I was here the other night when the dancing broke out. I was quite impressed with your playing. Would you be interested in playing for one of our parties for Orien's Crown?
Oh my, well, that is quite flattering. Where is this party located?
Oh, well, it's just at a small inn in Firelight.
Small inn in Firelight for Orien's Crown.
That's correct.
And what would the compensation be for such a gig?
Oh, well, it would be for the evening, for 4 hours of playing. You can break it up as you see fit. 4 hours of playing and singing, basically accompanying dancing, perhaps, being a bit of a storyteller, getting the crowd excited for the festival, would pay 20 gold pieces.
20 gold pieces for 4 hours of play.
The average person makes about 5 gold pieces a week, just so you're aware.
Well, I did have an offer for 30 gold pieces for 3 hours.
You just hear her eyes kind of get wide. Give me a persuasion check. Actually, that's deception.
All right. I can. Yes, I get to use my die for this.
Oh, right.
Yes. So that's going to be 13 plus 3 plus 7. So
Jesus.
It's going to be
A 23.
Yeah, 23.
Nope. She just sort of looks at you and she goes, "Oh my, where is this establishment?"
It's a wonderful little place. Don't mind the name. It was called the Witch's Teat. But they really heard that my playing was phenomenal, and they thought that I would be well worth it.
She says, "Well, if you wish to play in such a seedy bar, then by all means, but I will offer you the same. Actually, I will offer you 40 for 4 hours. We would like you for the full 4 hours. We have a bit of a program."
I see. Well, you make a very tempting offer. What is your name?
My name is Contortia de Verrigan.
Contortia?
Yes, my establishment is called the Open Maiden.
The Open Maiden?
Give me a history check.
What did you say that name was again?
Make your history check and I'll tell you.
Okay. Oh, nice. So for history, that's going to be a 19.
Okay, so her name is Contortia.
Okay.
Yes. De Verrigan. D apostrophe Varrigan.
Okay.
You know that Firelight is a district in Lower Memphis, and it is the classy brothel district.
Okay.
It is a red light district. There's gambling, all kinds of crazy. It's in Lower Memphis, but it's actually pretty nice. The other red light districts, Sharn's Welcome and Dragon Eyes, are both super shady and kind of scary. Like Firelight, like people will come down from the upper portions of the city to go there. There's a great theater there called the Diamond Theater. That's fairly new. It's like a 1,000-seat venue.
Oh shit!
And it's pretty impressive. But yeah, the Open Maiden.
Okay.
I heard that right. Yeah, let's check it.
You did hear that right. It's a little on the nose for the name of a brothel.
I like it.
know. But she says we would be most appreciative of your talents. I feel that you will fit into our program quite well, Mr. Gendrix.
Well, Lady Contortia, I would
be. I am no lady.
Oh, you were a lady to me. I think I will come and play for you.
Excellent. So the evening of Orien's Crown. That's 2 days hence.
What is there a time you would prefer for me to show up?
We will beginning the festivities will begin at 5 bells. We would like you there from 6 to 10.
Very well. I'll be there at 5 bells to prepare, and I will play
Of course,
whatever you need me to.
Of course, if you have an entourage of bodyguards, they are welcome. We will feed them and for the evening. You, of course, will be allowed to partake of the feast as well.
And this whole time I've just been sitting back just watching this, and she says that, and I'm just like leaning forward just a little bit. Yeah.
He says, "Delightful. I must say, I believe we will have the toast of the town for Arian's crown.
I look forward to it.
If I rhyme that anymore, I will lose my job."
All right, cool.
Oh, there's a PS on the mail that you got, and it just says, "Stop by the Enclave to redeem your payment for your previous job."
I'll take the letter back and tuck it in my coat.
Okay.
All right, well. Is Contortia still there, or is she gone?
No, she left.
Okay. Well, what should we do?
I'm gonna need my nice hat.
Yes, we should go and get that hat, shouldn't we?
Should we visit the Cogs before then, or save that for later?
That does sound as though we should probably save your hat for, especially we don't want to take it to the Cogs and get it all dirty and sooty before Arian's Crown Festival.
Well, it's 2 days from now, so I mean we could get it later.
Okay, we'll go when we want. Gendrix is in a pretty good mood this morning. Well, shall we be off?
Why not? I suppose Riven, if she's not dead, will be fine when she wakes up.
She's just sleeping.
Just sleeping. Sounds good to me.
She'll wake up. I just don't know exactly when.
Do we need to secure another place to stay, or have you done away with her, or?
No, she's fine. She'll wake up.
Okay, just curious.
I would never hurt Riven.
Okay.
I will tell the barmaid, if Riven, the girl that we were with, happens to come down here, will you let her know where we've gone?
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
She talks in her sleep, but don't disturb her.
I hear that many people do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it around that one.
Very well.
Sure.
She just sort
drug
of
you.
looks at you. She goes, "Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Are you alive?
In what way do you mean?
I mean, are you?
I no longer have a beating heart. But
I'm gonna
I
take
can
that as a
breathe.
no. That gives me a second question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about the undead? Do you know how to? Do you know how to do this?
To
I
make
ask-
what I am?
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not really sure how this happened.
Oh,
Well, I know
see.
how it happened, but not entirely how I came back.
I see.
So it's some experimentation, and pretty soon I hope to find out.
I have a brother who died in the war, and I didn't know if you might know a way to help him.
Ooh.
I can say honestly that I wouldn't make another one of me. I don't think your brother would enjoy it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, thank you for your candor.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh well, a lot of people died in the war. It was a bad time.
I sort of like reach out and like touch her shoulder for a moment, and then I like
sap some life from her.
no, not that mean.
I feel bad for you.
Here, let's go beat your brother.
I feed on your suffering.
But it's like very awkward, and she's just sort of like,
Okay, she kind of like the cold, clammy hand of death upon her. She's like, "That's weird." She just says, "All right, well, thank you," and she turns away.
hopefully we can be in and out of the Cogs fairly quickly.
I hope so.
But that's never how it works out.
They want to make more of me, you know.
Well, would you help them if they wanted to?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
Who
But-
is they?
It's not important. It's just people
It could be.
that I worked for previously.
Who did you work for?
I don't think I should say. I don't even know if I really work for them anymore because that was when I was Brienne, but now I'm Genesis. So I have different choices that I can make now. I'm just not sure if I want to make Brienne's choices or Genesis' choices.
So are you a third person, and Genesis and Brienne is somewhat? I'm confused.
Well, I was Brienne Roqueron, and then I set off a bomb accidentally. And when I came back, they called me the first of my kind because I'm the first of whatever I am, and so they nicknamed me Genesis. So now I am Genesis.
I see. Interesting.
Well, I only ask. And of course, we're just walking, right? We're just walking the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. You can walk and talk.
Because of the brooch that the rat man talked about. The emerald claw. It reminded me of, was it Karn? Karnath.
Karnak.
Yeah, Karnath. There was a sect of knights that went wild. And I'm gonna butcher this history because I don't remember it and I don't write notes down.
I know of what you speak. They were outcasted for what they did, and they no longer live in Karnath.
And that's what you were a part of?
Oh, no. Well, I sort of like awkwardly look around. I worked for House Karnath.
No. You're from
Did I get that wrong? Kenneth, my bad.
House
Close.
Karnath.
Karnath is a country. Kenneth is a house.
My bad.
They sound similar.
I worked for House Kenneth. But we didn't deal in undead. I know of it, but what happened to me was completely an accident. We weren't trying to do what it is that I am. You see, my friends, they were quite attached to me, and when I died, they did everything they could to bring me back, but it was sort of an accident. We didn't work in undead. They pulled together a multitude of different things to make what I am.
Interesting.
I'm just an experiment.
And I was an accident.
I know how you feel.
I'm just gonna kind of chuckle.
We're also chipper about these things.
Well, I can't change it. It is what it is.
But really, it's not that I don't trust you. I just have to ask. Because if that woman is prowling about this city with the Emerald Claw and there's more of them, there's no telling what they're
Oh.
up to.
Would like to study what they are. Maybe I could learn more about myself, but I don't think that I'm much like them.
Well, I hope we don't run into them again, but it's possible.
If there's coin on the table, then what happens, happens.
That's
If
true.
there's not and they show up, I will probably hide.
I'm not so good at that.
I'm good at running.
I'm not so good at that either. But that's alright.
We'll find something you are good at.
It hurts.
Oh, jeez. All right, so you guys, you make your way into Cogs Gate and down into. So when you get to Cogs Gate, you can see that it is it's a large warehouse district, basically. A lot of goods come into Terminus on the Lightning Rail, which is where you just were. And a lot of people come in to the city through Rowan's Gate, which is basically they make like a little. My brain just exploded. Terminus is here, Rowan's Gate is here, and then Cogs Gate is here. They sort of come together, little three areas together. Cogs Gate is where a lot of stuff that is brought into the city by the Lightning Rail, mostly ores and stones and things like that, are then stored in Cogs Gate and taken down to the Cogs to many of the furnaces and forges and things are down there. A lot of it runs on these huge eldritch machines, which is why they do it underground, because they're figure it's safer that way. If one of them explodes, it doesn't knock down a tower, it just explodes underground and no real harm done. Because eldritch machines, as all of you know, are not the best constructed things. They're very highly experimental, and they can easily explode if they are not handled correctly. And so, Genesis, you can probably actually speak to that better than everybody because of your history of having worked with many different eldritch machines and seen them go bad. But so, to get down into the Cogs, from Cogs Gate, there are a couple of ways. The way that most people would go about it are these vertical shafts that go down the ground. There are a couple of ways that are usually only open to merchants and people that are moving the ore and things like that down into the Cogs or back out of the Cogs. You obviously don't want to take barrels and truckloads of stuff down a ventilation shaft. So there are some footpaths that will get in there, but usually you have to have some special kind of a way to use those. The vertical shafts, though, anybody can use.
Vertical shaft, you just mean like a drop down? Like
Well, they have ladders. Yeah, it's a ladder.
Gotcha. Well, looks like we're taking a ladder.
Well, after you.
Start climbing down a ladder.
All right.
Slow and steady.
So mixed with the information that you got from Theron and the information that was contained in the bounty that was sent to you by House Thrash, you're able to find the correct, the closest entry shaft. You make your way down, head kind of the right way, and when you get down here, it's really strange because unlike a lot of the city, which sort of feels like you're inside. It still feels like you're inside here, but it's very cavernous in the Cogs. The ceilings in a lot of the places, kind of once you get down, are 80, 100, 150 feet high. And so a lot of times you don't even realize that you're inside. I mean, it feels kind of like you're in a cave, or it feels like nighttime, but there are, magical, like, ever-burning torches and things like that light a lot of the paths. But as you come down, the sort of first thing that you run into is, hold up, I gotta find my map of lower of the Cogs. Give me a second. No, I don't want an upper ward map. I want a lower ward map. I forgot to open it before I started. The Cogs. Of course, they won't have a map of the Cogs here. I'll have to go find it somewhere else. Anyway, so you come down into Black Bones, which is the there we go. Nope, that's Skyway. So of course. Give me just a second. Looking for it.
Meanwhile, Gendrix is
I'm gonna give you the wrong information.
writing songs about the party and our adventures, just thinking about them in his head as we go down.
Okay, yeah. So you come down into Black Bones, which is basically the southeastern section. It's the section that's under Tavik's Landing, basically, of the Cogs. And part of it is also under Memphis, but most of it is under Tavik's Landing. And when you come down, there's a small encampment, almost like a tent city, but like these appear to be like permanent tents, like big marquee tents and things like that.
And what did the letter say that Molag Bal was looking for?
Molag Bal, Molbog.
Yeah.
Is it seems that he has been so there is, if you go deeper under the Cogs even, which you're not technically in the city at that point, there's old cave systems and everything, because this is all built on Sharat, which was the capital of the Dargoon Empire. So you have all these different layers of old Sharn, and then of Sharat, and then old Sharn, and then the rest of Sharn is built on top of that. But it seems that down here there are clans or groups of ogres, and it seems that this Molbog is riling up the ogres for some reason. They've been attacking ore trains. So and you can see as you're kind of walking through, there are tracks everywhere. Like off of the roads that are sort of built in, you see like train tracks everywhere. And every now and then you'll see like a string of mine cars that are attached to each other that have what looks to be the front of it looks almost like a warforged, but just his upper half like stuck to the front of a mine cart. And like he has some levers in his hands, and you can see he's like basically Thomas the Tank Engine.
Nice.
Driving these mine carts, and you see them zoom by. Sometimes they have 2 or 3. Sometimes it'll be a long train of 8 or 10 or 15 cars, and they have all different kinds of things in them, stones and ores and rocks and different things down here that are being moved from place to place.
Can't get that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie out of my head where he's got the cab driver.
Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall. All right. So, is there a big tent anywhere? Or is there
Yeah, there's a couple of big tents. Yeah. As you walk into this tent city, you can see that it's sort of skirted by smaller tents. So you figure maybe where people live, or where people just like take a break during the day or whatever. But yeah, you can see there are in the center there are 2 large tents, not multi-story or anything because that would be nigh on impossible. Yeah. But they are just large, like like the tents that you would see at like a outdoor wedding or something.
Yeah, I want to walk up, I guess, to one of those big tents.
Okay. Yeah. You walk in and there's seat around. You can see there's a space in the back from where the main sort of entrance is, where there's several kettles and kegs set up that appears that they have some food there. And then you see there are several tables, but it looks like there's a lot of people that are here doing like scribe work. And you see all manner of races. You see goblins and hobgoblins and gnolls and humans and gnomes and elves. Like this is like the ultimate melting pot. But you see seated at one table this fat, like just like Jabba the Hutt looking hobgoblin who's just sitting, and he's got one arm up on like the high arm of his chair, and the other one he's got this huge goblet that he's drinking out of, and you can see he's talking to a couple of different folks, a gnoll and 2 goblins. And as you walk up, you just hear him say, "All right, we've got to get these mine trains going a little bit quicker. Those ogres, who's doing anything about those? They keep knocking my trains off the track. I'm not going to have it. If I don't make my quotas, I don't make my money. And if I don't make my money, I get skinny, and I like being fat. So bring me my ogre heads. I want them dead." And you see the gnoll is just kind of like yipping and barking. He's like, "Yes, boss. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it." And the 2 goblins are like, "That seems like a horrible idea." But they sort of disperse out.
I just gotta walk up, but before I do, I like this one.
As you approach him,
yeah,
he looks at you and goes, He gives you sort of an appraising glance. And says, "Too much human blood."
Why?
"What do you mean?" And he sort of points to another guy that's across the way, that's a full-on orc. And you can see he's just standing there. He's got like a broadsword across his shoulder, and he's just guarding the door. And he's just like, You can see he's like big tusks, like with little bronze caps on the end of them.
No, just why would you have to say it?
Well, I mean, we're amongst friends. What brings you down here to my little city?
Well, we were gonna help.
Oh,
your
well.
Ogre problem.
I do like the human in you for that bit.
Yeah,
Those old,
keep
how
you
do
nice
you
and
say it?
fat.
Darkash. Is that right, Darkash? Is that your house?
The Rashk.
Oh, the Rash. I see, yes. Well, I do like you for that. So they've sent you down. I gotta pay a pretty penny to get you down here. You think you can take care of them?
I'm sure we can.
All right, sounds good. And he says, "So, you got any ideas where to start, or you need some information from my folks?"
I'm hoping you have some information for us to start with.
Oh, of course. I can show you where a few attacks have been made. The old mangled up mine carts that killed an entire war train. That's a warforge that we melded onto the front of a mine cart.
I saw that.
How do they feel about this?
Who gives a shit? They
Fair
do their
enough.
work. They're warforged. They're not people like you and me.
Huh, yes, like you and me.
Of course.
Do they not have souls?
I don't know. Do I have a soul? Do you have a soul? What's a soul? Who cares about souls? They don't have the industry like we do.
I continue to like this one.
So who should we see?
Just well, if you head out, there's the road that heads to the south. Just follow that for a little bit, and eventually you'll come to another set of tents and a couple of wooden structures that we've built up to store supplies. And you'll see a foreman there. He's a little goblin. His name's Fezgut.
Fezgut.
Nice.
And what was your name, Rotund One?
Oh, you talk about my belly. They call me Borgog the Slim.
Borgog the Slim. I love a good ironic name.
Yes, you help Borgog. Borgog help you.
Well, Borgog, we're going to take care of this ogre problem you have.
Sounds like a plan.
Very well, we will find our way to Fezgut.
You see, he reaches into this container next to him, and he pulls out like what looks like a goblin arm, like it's green, but it like you can see it has grill marks on it. And he just tears into it and says,
Good luck. Kill many ogres for Borgog.
Very well, we shall. He's eating someone's arm. We must leave.
I think I was going to ask him where the good food was.
You're not hungry, are you?
Not anymore.
so yeah, you follow the path, this road. And once you still see the minecars zipping by on either side of the road. You can see there's places where it turns off and whatnot. But he said to keep going, to keep on straight.
And eventually, after about 20 or 30 minutes of walking, you do see just off in the dim light a couple of wooden structures with a couple of tents, and you can hear work being done, like the sound of hammers and on steel. You can see the glow of forges.
As we walk in.
All right. Yeah, you walk up and you see there's all manner of beastly creatures here that are like heavy leather aprons, big leather gloves that are just looks like they're pounding out iron for different things.
Who are we looking for? Fat Gut?
I believe his name was Fizzbutt.
You just see a little goblin about 2.5 feet tall just come walking around. He looks like, he doesn't look like your standard D&D goblin. He looks like a WoW goblin. He's got like big feet, big long nose, big ears. He just sort of toddles up to you and goes, Fezgut.
Fezgut.
Yes,
That was what
Fezgut.
it was. Sorry.
Now,
I think we were.
you two are the
both
wrong
right.
color. You're dead. You are the wrong color. You're green enough. What are you doing here?
We're here for the ogres.
Oh, the ogres, huh?
We were told you had information.
Oh, yeah. So, I guess Vargog sent you.
Yes.
Of course. Well, let's see where to start. Well, let's see. Do you want to go try to find the big guy right off the bat, or you want to take out some of his boys first?
Is there more money for taking out the boys?
Well, I mean, I don't know what deal you struck with Vargog.
Do they not travel together?
Oh no, he sends them out, splits them up, sends them out to wreak havoc everywhere.
And he just sits by himself?
Oh no, he goes out with some of them too, wreaks havoc. He's a crazy fucker.
Maybe we should have negotiated better.
So where is
Probably
he at?
right.
Well, we're pretty sure that his hovel is down an old mining shaft that we pretty much don't use anymore. We do have some storage down there that he's been busting up. We've had to move out a lot of ore that's already been smelted down. But if it's about an hour, you get pretty close to Ashblack actually, heading that way. But like I said, old shaft. You can head down there. That's where you'll find him. That's where his hovel is, we think. The last place he attacked, about a quarter mile over that way, you'll see just a busted up ore train.
All right.
So do you think that they would be near the train still?
Well, I mean, I don't know why they'd come and attack a train that already broken, but then again, they're ogres. They're dumb as hell.
I see.
They might just want to beat up something.
As ogres are wont to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say if you're gonna try and predict where they're going next, that's going to be really hard. Once again, ogres, stupid, but, you know,
So
might
there's
have a chance.
There's no pattern whatsoever to their
Well,
attacks.
they mostly seem to attack the trains or the storage. They don't seem to go after the people so much, every now and then. But I guess there's maybe enough people for them to get some food when they're attacking these other places. So they haven't attacked, you know, this little stead. I mean, it could be because we have all the fire, and you know, I don't really know. But
Do you have like a system that your trains run on?
Oh yeah, and he walks over to this wooden building with the door open, and he like starts pulling down a series of parchments that are like in rolling tubes. He pulls them down, and you can just see there's this intricate, like, imagine like the dark version of Washington D.C. and intricate subway system of these trains. And he just starts explaining. He's like, "All right, yeah, so this one hits, goes through the terminus, and then it routes over here." And he just goes on and on about it.
Am I like picking any of it up?
Give me just an intelligence check.
I'm thinking like my code system here.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not. I zoned out.
Not that I'll understand his system at all, but does a 12 work?
A 12 total. I mean, you can see like that it's a system, but you're like, this is moronic. Like whoever made this doesn't have a quality sense of, you know, moving goods along rail passage. But it seems to work for them, and he seems to be really into it. You get the sense that like maybe he designed this system.
Well, maybe it would be simpler if you told me like where your next closest train would be.
Oh, he says, "Well, I got 3," and you see one just come zooming by. He's like, "Right there."
I think that maybe there.
Well, I was gonna say before you asked me about how the system works, if you wanted to try to predict, as I said, ogre's stupid. But if you wanted to try to predict, I'd say that you might have some luck if you find some of the intersections, because that's where the trains have to stop for a moment. You know, they come up, they gotta wait for another train to pass. It's not a perfect system. We try to get it going to where absolutely nothing has to stop except for loading and unloading. If I could figure out how to make that not stop, I'd be the fat one. Anyway, I'd hit up some of the intersections, and he pulls down a sheet of parchment and just starts scribbling on it and in Goblin, and hands it to you. And it's a list of a couple of intersections that he thinks are juicy targets.
Can you? And I look at the 3. Can you point out where the closest attack was to these 3?
Well, I didn't write down any of the attacks on these.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, the second one that I wrote for you there, that's going to be the closest to the one that I talked about. That's about a quarter mile up that way.
We could go here and maybe wait them out.
Say, you seem to have a very intricate system here of these tunnels.
Yeah.
And it may or may not be too overwhelming for such simpletons as ourselves to be able to navigate. Do you have someone, perchance, that could guide us through your tunnels?
Oh, guy. Let me see. And he goes, "Wait right here." And he walks off. You see he goes into a tent, and you hear him, "Wake up!" And you hear a dunk. Oh! I said, "Wake up!" And he comes out. He says, "Just give him a minute." And you see a gnoll emerge from this, like a hyena man, emerge from this tent. And the moment he does, you see Fezga picks up a bucket of water and just throws it on him. And then I was like, "Ah! You didn't have to do that, Fezga. Come on, what do you want?" He says, "Well, these fine folks are coming to take out those stupid ogres so we can get the trains back on track." He says, "Did you have to come? If the trains are on track, then I have to wake up and do work." And Fezga kicks him in the shin. He goes, "You'll do work because you want the booze." He says, "You're right. All right, well, yeah. Just, the name's Dolg."
Dolg. Is that like a long D-O-G?
D-O-L-G.
Okay.
Bounty hunter, is he?
No. He just sort of looks at the 3 of you and goes, he sort of sniffs you and goes,
You don't smell like you're from around here. Nope. Nope. He says, all right, well, why are you down here? He says, we can head out if you want.
Is he like werewolf compared to me? Like, is he like 6 feet or?
Well, so he is about, like, he's looking, how tall are you?
I assume I'm like me, so probably like 5.
Okay, so he's, like, his eye level is shorter than Oligar, but you get the sense that if he stood up, like, straight, he'd be a good 7.5 or 8 feet tall. But he's just hunched over, like, because he's a gnoll. And, like, they apparently have crooked spines or something. They don't stand up straight.
They all have scoliosis.
Yeah, but yeah, you get the feeling he would be really tall if he stood up straight. But as he's walking out of the little settlement, you can see he reaches down and he grabs a spear and a shield and he slings the shield across his back and he's just using the spear as a walking stick. He says, "Yeah, well, I'm not really much of a fighter, but I guess I'm the best guard they got. They keep me filled with booze. I poke things if they stick their noses out." And every now and then, while he's talking, he'll just barks. And you can see he's got his right eye is fine, but his left eye is like completely milked over. You can see gray in his fur.
All right, well, I suppose we should be on. All right, Jizzfoot, it's been nice meeting you.
Fazgut, asshole, Fazgut.
I'll remember next time. I'm sorry.
All right.
I didn't catch his last name the first time.
And Dog just sort of looks at you, and he goes, "Yeah, he's a real asshole, but you know, I mean, he does. He actually is pretty efficient at what he does."
He seems very proud of what he does. None of us could make heads or tails of this shit.
As well, you know, it's an intricate system designed by a goblin. What do you expect?
Well, yes.
I don't understand how it works either. Like I said, I poke things.
Intricate goblin. Got it.
Wonderful.
Don't you guys usually like run around in packs? Why are you by yourself?
Oh,
Pretty sure that's
I mean,
racist.
yeah. I agree with the.
I'm sorry, I've only read
He
about
actually
you.
looks at you and he says, "I agree with the Haffy."
What do you mean, you people?
And he just sort of looks at you and goes, "I mean, come on.
I read books.
We've moved to we're civilized folk just like you are."
Well, of course, but I like to be around a lot of humans.
Well, I mean, I like to be around other gnolls when I can, but you know, business calls, so I'm down here.
Okay.
He goes, "I got a family. They live back up towards the tunnel."
I just read a lot, and I just
Yeah, wild gnolls that don't know how to speak the common tongue, they run around in packs. I, on the other hand, have learned to speak with your language.
Well, I think that no, never
I
mind.
have assimilated. And you can go fuck yourself.
I wouldn't presume to tell you where you live or what language you speak. I just have never met one of you before.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, if you don't come down here to the lower part of the city, to the Cogs, you know, or get out to Droam. If you head out to Droam, you'll meet lots of gnolls. Real civilized folk out there.
Okay.
Anyway, we're going to find Mobog. Right?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think we're heading to, where is it? Number 2 on the list.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and I like pull.
He,
out
he
the
sort of
map.
looks at your list and he goes, "Not a bad place to start, I guess." He hands it back to you.
I'm going to try not to be from Jersey for the rest of the day.
Oh, no.
He can't like
Gnolls
not
are, Gnolls are from
real
Jersey.
hard.
This is how we learn to talk.
forget about it.
Being
He says, just to be clear, I'm in on the split for the pay, right?
Certainly, of course.
How much are you getting
This
paid?
this is heavy duty work.
What are you getting paid?
We were offered 100 gold.
Deception check.
I was wrong earlier. It's not deception. It's persuasion and stealth.
Oh, okay.
Or not. Sorry, performance and stealth.
Oh, you nailed the one that you did anyway. So
Ooh, that was a nat 1.
he just sort of looks at you and goes, "You'd be stupid as hell to come down here for 100 gold. What are they paying you?" "I'll go back and sit in my tent."
250.
All right.
For the head of Molag Bal.
Who's Molag Ball?
A Daedric prince.
Who the fuck's a Daedra?
Whatever his name is. I don't remember. It's
Mobog.
whatever. Mobog.
Yeah, Mobog.
There you go. I'm not good with names.
Oh, you should work on that. Anyway, so as I said, so 250. God, that's a lot. It's a lot of gold.
First, it's not enough. Now it's too much.
No. I'm just saying, 100's a lot of gold. Don't get me wrong. It'd be dumb to do this job for it. 250. That sounds like a decent starting price. You should have negotiated more. I'll take 50.
Fair enough. That works. Killing ogres is definitely dangerous work. I would say that you would earn that.
Oh yeah, especially these ogres. They're real dumb.
Yes, Fezgut was telling us that.
Yeah, well. Anywho, let's and about this time you've made your way to where he was talking about, and you can still see the lights of the forge here, and you do see it's like 6 mine cars that are all piled up on each other, and they've just left this torso of a warforged. You don't know if he's dead or alive, like stuck to the front of this train, and there's like a mine car crashed on him, and you can see like his left arm and his head are still sticking out, but he's like glued to the front of a mine car. You don't know if he's dead or alive.
I'm gonna pick up a pebble if I find one on the ground and just kind of toss it in his general direction.
Okay.
Try to like ding it off of his shoulder or something.
Just roll me a d20.
A 13.
That hits him.
Okay. Yeah, just
Just boop. Bounces off of him.
any reaction at all.
Not to a pebble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just gonna walk up, I guess. Just look around. I mean, there's nothing, right? Just that.
Yeah, it's a crash train. You can see there's an intersection here, and you can see that they've actually hastily come in and put down track to reroute what it was here because they haven't been able to clean the cars off yet.
Yeah, I'll walk up to the Warforged man thing,
Okay.
Warforged car, and just kind of look at it.
Okay, just give me a perception check.
I'm gonna do the same. I'm checking around the cars.
It's a dirty 20 plus perception.
Mm-hmm.
23.
At 23.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, so you can see that this Warforged in the back, they've been going by so fast. The ones that you've seen earlier, you didn't notice this, but there's like a bundle of cables that sort of go into the base of the head where it sort of meets with the neck. And you can see that spreads out to a series of control boxes that are attached to the car. And you get the impression that whatever sentience these Warforged may have had before this happened, it doesn't exist anymore.
But there's like a cable going into his head.
Yeah, like
And
a
there's
bundle
like
of cables.
And there's like an arm sticking out.
An arm and his head are sticking out.
I wonder at this point how closely related he is to Sir Gilliam.
But I don't know about her. Hear you say that.
Hopefully she's
Is
sleeping.
his head wrenchable?
You give me a strength check.
Yeah.
Athletics.
I want to wrench it.
Just gonna yank his head off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strength check.
Athletics.
Athletics check.
Yeah, you use your athletics.
10.
10. You pull it. It's on pretty good.
Well, I was hoping to keep some of the wires intact. Maybe whoever built it can do something with the wires. I don't know. You're smarter than I am. Is that possible?
I'm gonna look at it. Can I tell if that's possible at all?
Give me an Arcana check.
And as she's looking at it, I'm
A
just like
10.
slowly taking
Okay.
out the sword.
You're not sure.
Like,
I don't really think. I'm not really sure. I don't know. It's a little different from the stuff that I work with.
what's the harm? I'm just gonna cut the head off.
Okay.
Flop.
Yep. You slice his head off.
And I'm gonna take it. Flop.
Okay.
I have heard that they have souls, you know.
Well, hopefully this one left his body.
I guess.
Slowly collecting Warforged components over here.
Yep.
Need to get rid of these.
You're like Frankenstein the Warforged
Yeah.
at some point.
I mean,
you said
currently
you were,
we have
what was
two-
your perception check?
I was at 13, but I was kind of looking around like the cars. I'm looking for
Yeah, sure.
evidence of like what happened.
Yeah, you can see like these massive footprints that are probably a good 2 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
That are all through the area. You see there's a couple of discarded like clubs and things like that. But other than that, there's not much around.
Okay.
Is anything missing? Like, these are just ore carts that are knocked over, right?
Yeah, well, the carts themselves are empty,
Okay, so the carts are empty.
but you don't know why.
Say, Dolg, what was this car carrying? Do you know?
I don't know. Let me look. He sort of goes up to where the Warforged car is and goes, "Give me a hand with this."
and he's trying to
I'll
lift
go-
it up. Yes,
I'll go give him a hand.
he manages to right the car, and the Warforged, headless now Warforged body is just sitting there. And you see he kind of comes up, and on the back of the Warforged body, you see he takes and lifts up a panel like on its back, and he just kind of looks, and he messes around, pulls a couple of wires, and like bits of sinew and the Warforged innards, and sort of like reconnects them a little bit. And he goes, "You got that head?"
Oh yeah, yes. I'll reach in the bag, hand it to him.
How's that? He goes, "Oh well, this may work, it may not. We'll see." And he kind of sets the head back in place and
Well, you
jacks
see
the
me
wire.
doing it the whole time.
I mean, not necessarily. He also didn't know that you were going to want to know this information.
Pay
he,
attention, dog.
but
I
he-
do dumb shit.
He sticks the wire back in the head, and hits a couple more buttons, and you hear like the Warforged's mouth doesn't move, but you just hear like a mechanical voice that says, or an Elithrium cart 9372 inbound to Cog 9763. He says, looks like you was carrying Elithrium ore.
Elithrium ore. That's some pretty stout stuff. Is it not?
Yeah, it's it's used in all sort of things up in the city, of course, but it's a good bit of what do they call the one up top? Skyway. It's used to make Skyway float. Yeah, I don't know, but we mine it down here. I don't know why they would have had inbound cart of Elithrium, but
I wonder if the ogres have been targeting the Elithrium. Elithrium is quite valuable.
They're selling it, or someone's buying it.
Someone may be putting them up to this.
Maybe they're not as dumb as we think.
Perhaps.
he goes, I'm pretty sure that they didn't get away with anything that was in this cart. I'm not positive on that, but I think we managed to get our, because pretty close to the forges over there. I think we were able to get our people here in time they didn't make off with too much of the store, from what I understand.
I see. Well, shall we carry on?
He says, "Yeah, I mean, I don't see why they would come back here." He said, "What else you got on that list?"
I'll like open up the map and show it to him.
Yeah, he sort of looks at this. There's once about a mile to the west. Take us under Memphis, but it might be a good place to go. It's pretty far away, but it's a major junction, especially at certain times of day. You have 15, 20 carts that are stopping and starting, letting things pass and whatnot. It's a big bottleneck. I don't know why they haven't hit that yet. Because it'll take us a little bit of time to get there, but
Well, maybe we'll get lucky.
I mean, hopefully.
Maybe they're just checking the defenses on the ones that they did hit.
No, like casing the operation.
Right.
Maybe they aren't as dumb. I doubt that. They're ogres. No, not. Anyway.
Ogres may be impressionable, though.
Perhaps.
Do I know anything about ogres?
You can give me a nature check, yes, sure.
They have layers.
Geez, I'm like crap. That's a 9.
9.
Yeah.
Ogres are big, dumb brutes.
Yeah.
They like to eat people.
I've heard they like to eat people.
I don't fancy being eaten.
Me neither.
Dog says, well, you look pretty heavily armed. I don't know what you got going on. I guess you do some magic or something.
Something like that.
All right. What do? You got a guitar? What do you do? Singer?
Yes, you could say that.
Interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, good thing I'm here with a spear. Anyway, let's head out. Let's head to Junction 3162.
We'll be on our way then.
So yeah, you go for it takes you about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to kind of traverse this area. So pretty rough terrain. Getting through. You have to stop for a couple of carts that come through. You almost get hit by like the first one because you don't look both ways as you're starting to go off the beaten path.
Why would you?
But eventually, everyone give me a perception check.
I am, just for the record. I'm no longer picturing them as like that. I'm picturing them as warforged that are just skating. I don't know why.
Like with minecarts strapped to
Yeah,
them?
it just popped in my head.
I got 14.
Perception.
14.
15, 16.
16. Okay, yeah. You all hear a heavy ruckus.
Heavy ruckus.
Yeah.
Coming from ahead of us? Or?
Yep, yep. And Dole just sort of, let's see, does Dole notice?
I believe I
There
hear
it
a
is.
heavy ruckus.
He just sort of kind of looks at you. You see he reaches back and grabs his shield and stops using his spear as a cane. And from what had been just sort of a leisurely, decrepit-looking knoll, he adopts a position and goes, I think we might have found him. And you see he just sort of starts creeping up slowly.
All right. Yeah, I'll go stealthy
Okay.
with him and I'll pull out my pistol.
All right.
Yeah.
Traditionally, we
Attempt.
have made stealth checks for this situation.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Oh, and roll my intel dice. You know what? That really sucks. But it's an 11 overall.
Okay.
20.
Stealth.
Whoa, 20. Yeah.
This dice likes
Oh yeah,
me.
I'm at disadvantage. Oh, same number. Look at there. 18.
18. I mean, overall, other than Gendrix, good check.
So for whatever reason, I brought my loot down here today, and it's like bouncing off of my back as I'm.
All right, yeah, but as a group check, you had enough people pass. That you managed to, and this you kind of come up the crest of this hill that you can kind of look over as you before you scramble up it. And you can see that there are indeed. This is probably a 3, maybe 400 square foot sort of platform area, and you see there's all kinds of trains at odd angles that are stopped, and one will zip and then one will move. And you can see that even in the middle, there are people that are loading things in and moving things. There's sort of it is a place of industry, and the thing that is out of place are 3 massive creatures, 10 feet tall, that are grabbing these carts and just throwing them off of the tracks. And the people that are here, it's a lot of goblins and gnolls and hobgoblins, are losing their minds, running around crazy. That'll be initiative.
That's
You guys,
fair.
however, you guys have a surprise round on these guys.
Oh hell yeah!
Everyone will get to act.
Fuck. I need that surprise too, because my dice don't like me anymore.
Hey. 602.
Yep, it'll be time to swap this set out.
Let me look at these ogres real quick.
How far away are you right now?
How far away are you?
Yeah, from.
You about 30 feet. Coming up on them unawares, as it were. I've got to actually no, not the player's handbook. That's not going to tell me anything. Monster manual, that might help. Ogres. Okay, cool.
Grats.
Okay. Very well. All right. Give me some initiative numbers. Genesis.
12.
12. Gendrix.
7.
7.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Ogres had a minus.
Oh boy.
Solid.
Does the surprise round give us advantage?
No, so basically, there is no technical surprise rounds
Mhm.
in 5th edition, but what it does get you is anyone who is surprised doesn't get to act in the first round of combat. So basically, you guys will all get to attack, and they'll just stand there like idiots, and then we'll go to the top of the combat order and go from there. And
Okay.
Oligar, what'd you have?
16.
16.
Nice.
All right. All right, so let's use our initiative cards. Here we got Oligar, followed by the ogres, followed by. I'm going to use Riven as Dolg, since she's not here. And then we have Genesis and Gendrix. There we go.
Yay.
Just leave a little space there for them. All right, so it's all around. Oligar, what do you do?
So they're just thrashing shit.
Yeah,
huh?
you can see there's just 3 of them that are they're picking up the rail cars, throwing them at people. But you can also
give me perception for this.
9.
13.
13. Yeah, you can see that each of them has. So they're not wearing really any clothing per se. You can see they have these big belts around their sort of distended bellies that have a loincloth hanging down to cover up their bits. But you can see that hanging off of these belts they have two just sort of limp-looking satchels that look like maybe they could hold about the equivalent of a gallon of milk, give or take. But these satchels are just limp. They don't appear to have anything in them.
Interesting. Well, shit. I mean, we're down here to kill the bitches, so
All right, well,
I guess so. Let's kill the bitches.
do a kill.
I guess I'm gonna run up to them. They're 30 feet away,
Yeah, go for it.
so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run up to the first one.
Give me an attack.
Yeah, that hot attack roll coming in. Oh, that's a hot fat 11.
That is gonna hit.
Nice.
Noise.
I'm down with it.
Remember when I said minus dex?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've been rolling. This is
That's
going to be
fair.
good.
All right. That's a whopping 6, 10.
10 points.
10 points.
Nice.
10 points.
All right. 10 points. What else? What you got?
That'll do it.
That's it?
Yep.
You don't get to make like 2 attacks because it's the first round or something?
Nope. That was.
Oh, yeah. That was before you
That
were.
was the old.
Yeah, you're a paladin now. I forgot. Do you want to
Is
put some?
it not righteous to do that?
You want to put some
No.
smite on that?
No, I'm not
No?
gonna. I'm not gonna
Okay.
smeet tell you that guy. Not yet.
All right. That's gonna bring them up. 2 of them actually.
Wait, we have surprise.
Oh yeah. So it does. They don't do anything. They just keep throwing mine cards around.
Sick.
Did you see me go?
All right, that's going to be Dog. You see he comes running in, and he takes his spear and turns it around into like this kind of a thing, and he leaps and just jabs his spear at one of these things. But he rolls a 10 and misses.
We know exactly what it is now.
Yeah.
So close.
As a bonus action, he will take his shield and try to bash the thing. Now he's attacking the one that you attacked.
Okay.
That is better. He rolls a 12 and manages to hit with the shield. It doesn't do any damage, but you kind of see the ogre sort of stumble, and you see like little Tweety birds around his head.
Nice. Gotta love
He
Tweety
is, just so you know, this is a condition that does not exist in 5e called Dazed. Basically, the ogre can only make actions or bonus actions. He can't take reactions. So,
Okay.
yeah, you can kind of see he sort of looks down at Dog, and his eyes sort of just are glazed over. That'll bring up Genesis.
I'm gonna run up there and I put my component in the potion was the word I'm looking for, and I drink it. I'm gonna firebolt.
Firebolt.
So,
Same one that Oligar attacked?
yeah,
Okay.
and it's 13 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Yeah, armor class 11.
We narrowed it down.
I forgot how much you do. 1d10. So 6 damage.
6 points of damage. Nice. Okay. Anything else?
I'm gonna walk, or probably run at this point, like 10 feet up.
So you just move 10 feet up? Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're walking up, you just... And this thing catches it in the face and does a nice whack to him.
Which one did you do that to?
The one that he hit.
The same one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that will bring up Gendrix.
All right, so I have a question. Is it possible that as we were approaching, there's one of them that still has his hands on a mine car at this moment? Okay. I'm gonna take one turn and just go ahead and heat metal on the one that is holding a mine car.
Alright, he's got this mine car like above his head.
Oh yes. Okay, so that's gonna be I do 2d8, and if he's holding it, he has to survive.
Yeah, so this is a different one.
That's a different one. That's
Yes,
fine.
It's not the one that ran attack.
Yeah, that's fine. And he'll have to make, since he's holding it, he'll have to make a con saving throw to see if he can hold on to it or drop it.
He's fairly good at those. It's a 20.
Okay, yeah, he beat my spell DC for that, but he takes
He's too dumb to let go of the hot mine cart.
yeah, so he's just pretty much sitting there taking 9 points of fire damage, looking at the thing going.
Yeah, you can see he's just kind of holding on to it. Okay, now is it on their turn or on your turn that they're going to take more damage?
I can as a bonus or
As a bonus action, you can fire it up again.
yes.
Okay. All right. because he's probably just going to throw it next turn because that's what he's going to do anyway.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm also going to sing a little bit of Peg Leg Annie to give Oligar some inspiration.
Nice. I like it.
I'm down with it.
All right. That will bring us to the top of the round with Ogar.
All right. So this one is Dazid.
Yep.
On me. I want to look over and see the one that is about to throw the minecart.
He's about 10 feet away from you.
I want to look at him and say, drop it.
You're going to command him?
I'm going to command
Is
him
that what-
to
is that-
drop it.
Is that the flavor I'm getting here?
Yep.
So command. What kind of? Tell me about this.
That's literally
You just say
all
drop.
Yeah, I'm
one word.
drop it.
All right.
Drop it.
And how do I not do this?
You
How do I
not
drop
do
this?
this on a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save. What's your DC?
Which is an 8, 9, 10. I really need to fix this, so I don't have to do this every time. 13.
13. Well, he's -2.
Nice.
That's an 8.
Nice.
Nice.
So you see he's got this minecart up in his hands, which you can see his hands are starting to sizzle. And he's like, "Argh," and then he just goes, book, and this minecart falls on his head. Roll me some damage.
All right, what am I rolling?
Let's say it's a minecart. It weighs a lot. He's an ogre. I guess that doesn't matter. Give me 2d6.
2d6. Got it.
I'm
That's
loving
4
this.
to 2.
And roll me a d8 for fire damage.
Nice.
Because it was still hot.
There'll be a 3 on that one.
Okay, so what was our total?
6, 7, 8, 9.
So 9 total?
9 total.
All right, nice. Yeah, and he's going to make a constitution saving throw. Natural 1. He is also dazed by the minecart falling on his head, but he's now no longer holding on to it.
Nice.
But is it on his head, though?
Actually, roll me percentile dice.
Okay.
No, like it bounced off of his head.
Okay.
Roll me. That would be funny.
That would be hilarious.
He's got a thick head.
roll me percentile dice.
We've got some, like, Skyrim shit going on here. 93.
93. It is on his head.
Nice.
It was upside down when he dropped it, and it fell. So now he can't see anything, and it's still touching it.
Now he's got, like, a bucket head going on.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right.
Bucket
Anything else?
man.
Anything else, Oligar?
No, because that's an action. I will move, because the third one, right, is...
He's about 20 feet away from you.
Okay, and he wasn't throwing a minecart or anything, right?
He's like picked up a minecart,
Mm-hmm.
and the last you saw, he was like grabbing one of the warforged by the neck, and
And attempting to throw them.
yeah.
I'm
So-
going to get in his face. With
So
my
you're
movement.
gonna run away from both of the dazed ones and get
Yes.
in that guy's face.
Right.
Okay. All right. That'll bring up the ogres. The one that you ran up to, Oligar, is going to take a swing at you with the minecart that he is picking up.
I thought he was picking up a warforged. Shit.
Well, it's a warforged that's attached to a minecart.
That's right.
A war-
I forgot they were
it's a war
attached-
train.
A war train.
Yeah. So he's trying to hit you with this basically train engine.
Okay. That's fair.
But a 9 probably does not hit.
No, 9 does not.
Okay, that's his turn. The one that has the thing on his head is going to. You know what? We can actually do this. I don't know why we're not doing this.
Oh, snap.
Do we need the extra map?
No. That was for the a different job.
Yeah, these guys are big and ugly.
Rat ogres.
All right, so this one is the one that was attacked first by Oligar. You guys came from over here.
Okay.
So this is the one that I'm at.
This is Dolg. No. This is the one that you're at.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Dolg is on this one.
Genesis is back there.
Genesis is back here.
Naturally, I'd be
Right
back
there.
around that
Okay.
same area.
And this is the one with the minecart on his head.
Okay.
So
None of them are like the one that got the minecart. He's just like he's still standing up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the one with the minecart on his head is dazed, so he can only take an action or a reaction. And he is going to stumble blindly this to the southwest.
So, like, off in this direction?
Yep.
How far?
That's good.
Okay.
because he can't see anything.
Sweet.
And then the one that's there by Dog is going to swing his great club at Dog. Ooh, that hits. These are brutal. Okay, yeah, you see he just swings around and hits, and Dog just sort of, and isn't able to get the shield up in time and takes a big whack. And you can see some blood trickling out the side of his face, and his ears sort of droop a little bit.
Oh no.
Dog.
That is the ogre's turn. Dog sort of redoubles and gets almost in that Spartan stance, and you can see there's a slot in his shield, and he lowers his spear through it, and he's going to try to spear this.
Does he say awu, awu, awu?
Is this Achilles?
He does hit. Ooh, max damage.
Nice.
Get it, dog.
Yeah, Dog goes bazonkers.
Make a bounty hunter out of you, yeah.
All right. And that is Dog's turn. Genesis.
Okay. I'm gonna do a thing.
Do
Okay.
it.
I'm gonna use my meta magic
No.
and
What meta magic are we using?
I'm gonna get the name of it again real quick. So it's quicken spell.
Okay.
So
How does quicken spell work? I am unfamiliar.
Okay. So when I cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action, I can spend 2 points to change the casting time to a bonus action.
Okay.
So I can do a cantrip, and then I can cast this as a bonus action.
Yes.
Okay. Just make
Nice.
So what are you going to cast as your bonus action?
I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Is there a restriction that says you can't cast another spell?
I don't know.
I know basic spell
because-
casting, usually if you cast a normal spell for your action, then you can only cast a cantrip for your bonus action, or vice versa. But this seems like it's going outside of the rules a bit. So I would say that you can cast 2 spells if you want. Now you can still cast a cantrip if you want. But I would say you can take a bonus action spell and make it a bonus action. Or you take an action spell and make it a bonus action and do it. And then you could cast a regular action spell.
So
if you
would I
so
take?
chose. You'd still use 2 spell. You'd still use up 2 spell slots.
That was my question.
Yeah, so I mean it's still, you still have to pay for it.
Okay.
But-
So I can do it as a cantrip, and then I can do the spell if I don't want to use all my spell slots.
Yeah. So if you
Okay.
wanted to like cast the cantrip, like if you want to do firebolt and then quicken spell to cast a regular spell or another cantrip, that'd be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that then. She's
Okay.
gonna mix the potions.
All right, who are we attacking?
So I'm going to cast Firebolt
At which one?
at the one closest to me over there.
The one that's running off with the bucket on his head?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So that one is a natural 20. So
Oh,
25 to hit him.
solid natural 20. So you know how that works. You get a full die plus a die.
So 2d10s then.
Well, no, you get a full D10.
Yeah, you get a full 10 and then
And then
roll.
10.
So 6. I
So
mean 9.
16.
Sorry.
So 9. So 19. Man.
Nice. That
Wow.
dude is having a bad day.
Yeah, he is gonna hate fire if he survives this, which I don't think he's going to.
And then,
all right, and what are you gonna quicken spell?
Then I will quicken spell my Scorching Ray.
Ooh, who's this
wow.
one?
There's 3 rays of fire, so they're each gonna get a ray.
Sweet. Yeah, you can in my game. This isn't Warhammer. You don't have to call out all your targets. You can do one. If someone dies, you can send the next one somewhere else.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Then I'll give the guy that I just hit one
Okay.
more.
All right, so go ahead and give him a roll.
So
Scorch him with a ray.
that's gonna
Oh.
be a not probably hit. That's gonna be 6 to hit him.
6 misses.
Yep.
Natural one always misses.
So the second one, I'm gonna throw it at this dude right here.
And which one?
The
middle
guy
one?
right there with Noel.
Okay.
So there's 18 to hit him.
Yeah,
Weapon.
definitely.
Then do you want me to roll damage or go ahead?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
do
Go
it?
and do damage on him.
So that's a 7 damage for
Okay,
him.
nice.
And then the last guy, I'm gonna take one more shot at the dude with the bucket on his head.
Okay, go for it.
17.
Yeah, the bucket on his head is like armor for the first one.
I hope that it gave him
3
eardrum
damage.
3 damage.
3
All right,
spicy
yeah.
damage.
Okay, yeah. You can see this guy. He's getting lit up. He is not
Toasty
experiencing what would normally be referred to as joy. But
I'm just drinking and like.
So that's it. Did you want to move it all?
No, I'll probably
right.
stay right where
All
I'm
right,
at.
that will bring up Gendrix after the pyrotechnic show brought by Genesis. What will you bring?
Just level
You're
the
welcome.
bazooka at that dude.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of mosey out of that dude's way a little bit by going.
Okay.
I'm gonna go on the other side of Genesis there, and I'm gonna take a pot shot at the one that Dolg is next to. So
Did
that-
he end up in melee with you? I can't see over the screen.
no, he wasn't.
He moseyed off?
He was still about 15 feet away from me.
Then you're good. If he did, I was gonna have him take a swing with disadvantage.
I got you. So my shot at the dude
With
it's,
Dolg?
It's a
Okay.
12 on the die.
Yeah,
I can't
that's
think of mine.
good. Yeah, AC 11.
Gotcha. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this sometimes. All right, so it's 6 plus 4. 5 points of damage to that one, and then I'm gonna use my bonus action to heat up the bucket again.
All right, yeah, go ahead and give me those sweet flames.
A little sorry for him.
Damn, that's a 15.
Nice, jeez. Yeah, you can see he stumbles down to one knee, and you just hear a like echo throughout this bucket. He's still alive, but he is
It's like a heated
not.
seat you can't get off.
He's not good. Is that it?
Yeah, that's all my stuff.
All right, top of the round, Olgar.
Oh man. Yeah.
That's the dude like farthest away from us, right?
Yeah.
over
Okay,
there.
gotcha.
Like it looks like a bucket on his head, but it's a minecart, like an Indiana Jones legit minecart. And he's just now like starting to lift it up.
That's depressing. Absolutely depressing. Yeah, let's because I'm just gonna circle around
Okay.
and we'll smack him. And 14.
Yeah. All day.
All day. 4 and 4 plus 4 is
Easy math.
math.
Nicely done.
12.
Anything else, Paladin?
No, because I don't want to. I don't
Alright.
want to smite nothing.
All right, that will bring them up. The one that you just smacked, Olgar, is going to take a
He's still
swift swing your direction.
He's still swinging that forward.
Yeah, big old. He doesn't have a great club like he should. He has a minecart.
I somehow feel this worse.
It probably is. Does an 18?
Yeah.
18
18 will do it.
Does a hit. And you're right. This is worse than a normal than his normal club.
Yeah, it's a fucking minecart.
It's a couple extra degrees of die that he's gonna grab here. But he rolled pretty terribly, so he's gonna return the favor in kind for 12
Nice.
points of bludgeoning damage as he whacks you across the face with a minecart.
You can dodge a
Let's
wrench.
see, the one that has the minecart on his head, he's just now lifted it up, and he sees where everyone is. You probably don't have to do anything, right, to do the flame, so you probably can't tell. So I'm gonna say he's just gonna throw who's closest, which is gonna be Genesis, I believe. If I've seen
she's
the table right.
Genesis
Yeah.
right there.
So he takes this minecart off of his head and he flings it at you. Good thing is he has a terrible dex, so this is probably gonna go real poorly for him. That's I rolled a 3, which becomes a 2.
Nice.
So
Keep up the good work.
He takes the minecart and flings it, and you're just like, nope, and it just flies right. You hear clink, 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 clatter away down the mine shaft. And then the one that's on Dolg, he is going to just try to whack Dolg with his club, and he rolls a 10, which Dolg, now in position with his shield, just blocks it away. And you can see Dolg is starting to really harry him with this spear.
Nice.
All right, that's going to bring us to Dolg, who will make a poke. Ooh, nice. Well done, Dolg.
Dog MVP.
Yeah. Dolg brings minimum damage this time. There you go, buddy.
MVP rescinded.
All right. Nope, that's 47. Okay. So that's the ogres and Dolg have gone now. Genesis, you're up.
I'm going to the guy that like threw the cart at me.
Uh-huh.
How far away is he?
That's
What,
the
like
guy
20
through the
feet?
cart is
Yeah.
at
20?
15.
He's only gotta be 20.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
I'm gonna pull out a bunch of like what looks like sand, and I'm gonna like sort of like blow it in his face. I'm gonna say sleep.
Okay.
So 19, 20, 28.
Yeah, you fall asleep.
Nice.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
You've had a tough day. Take a
Falls on his
nap.
face.
Yeah,
Make the
he just
pain
falls
go
asleep,
away.
snoring loudly. Gendrix.
All right. Seeing that he's asleep, I'm gonna take another shot at Big Ugly that Dolg is fighting with.
Okay, go for it.
That's gonna be a 17 on the dice, so 20.
Yeah,
20,
it's AC 11. You're good.
I still just like to say it out loud.
No,
'cause-
it's good for your math skills.
yeah, they're terrible. I'm a computer science major and it's horrible. And I
Yeah,
got
you
lost.
need some weird calculus to make this game easy.
Yeah, right. Take the derivative of the gunshot, which is okay. This is gonna be 6 damage.
6 points.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
All right.
And then I'll whistle another little part of Peg Leg Annie and give Dolg some bardic
You
inspiration.
see his ears perk up here. Kind of barks back at you. Oligar.
All right. Let's continue to smack a whole game.
All right.
Let's do
Yeah, this guy's he's still pretty fresh.
let's do some bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get up out of there. Come on.
Bro.
On the table. There you go.
He does
Nice.
not. He does not have a D10 yet.
Oh no, I don't.
He has a D6.
I have a D6. You're way out there.
My bad.
Level 4.
Oh no.
It's because you tried to cheat.
Yes, I was cheating. I'm so used to.
What's your total?
What was the last game? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, just
Snap.
misses.
Oh, wait. Yep, just misses. Because I have
What'd you roll on the die?
a 3,
You
A
got
3
one
plus a
of
4 is 7. Plus your to hit bonus
which is a 6.
is a 13.
The fuck did I roll?
Plus your 1.
Oh, well, fuck. Math skills, friends.
Yeah,
Math
no,
skills.
yeah, that
I was
hits.
talking about derivatives and
Yeah,
shit.
that definitely
you know?
hits. Simple
Just give me
mathematics.
some geometrics and we'll
Just
be
roll
fine.
them over
We'll
here.
take the
Matt can
integral
count
of
them.
this.
Yeah. I need my rolly mat. Hey, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13 points, nice.
Ah.
Yeah, you come around with the great sword and just slice across the back of his knees, and he bellows in pain. That's gonna bring. You got anything else?
No.
All right, that's gonna bring up the ogres. The one that you just slashed will continue to try to inflict pain on you with a minecart. It seems like a solid weapon. Oh, good lord. That's a 22.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
Ooh. 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
God damn.
Oh my.
The one on Dolg. I rolled a 12 on a D12. First time ever. That never happens.
Ooh.
Shit.
I had thought about doing exploding damage dice in this game, but if I gave it to you, I'm giving it to me too. That'd have been rough.
You just see my character explode.
The one on Dolg rolls a natural 1 and falls on his face. You can knock him prone.
Wham.
Dolg just steps out of the way and then butts him in the back with the butt of the spear, and he falls over. The one that's there asleep will stay asleep. And that will bring us to Dolg, who will attempt to stab the one who just overextended on him. Dolg hits.
Nice.
Way to be a failure at life, Dolg. Wait, no, that's a 6. Never mind. It dies. I thought he'd come up 1 short.
Oh man, that would have sucked.
Yeah, no, I thought I had done 5 points of damage, but I did 6. Yeah, so that one's he's already prone, and Dolg just you see him stab him in the back of the neck, which he doesn't have much of a neck to begin with. He pretty much goes like from his shoulders to his scalp, because he's
Stabs him right through the hot dog pack.
Yeah, but he just finds like where the medulla oblongata, as small as it may be, in this moronic creature, and it dies.
Very nice.
Genesis.
We're gonna need to keep tabs on this Dolg guy.
I'm going to roll on the tides of chaos.
For what
Just
reason?
randomly.
Just for fun?
For fun. So I can get advantage on my chaos bolt.
I mean, you don't have to do that. You can
I
just
just
use.
like to.
You can. I mean, I will determine whether you need to, and I'm going to
okay.
say no. I'm not going to let you have your power back.
All right. Cool.
I'm just going to. You get advantage. You got to complete a short rest, I think, to get that back.
So don't take the slot off here. Then that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't. Yeah. No, mark Tides of Chaos because you're using it,
Okay, got it.
or Alchemical Chaos, or whatever the f I called it.
Whatever it is. I don't know what
Fun
it's
stuff.
called.
That's what it is.
It's called advantage.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna just I just pull like a random
What are we going with?
I'm gonna see. Don't I have to roll the d8 to decide what it is?
She's chaos bolting.
Yeah, I'm chaos.
You're doing Chaos Bolt?
Yeah.
Well, no. I just didn't know what spell you're using.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, cast your spell.
I got it through the rambling. I'll translate.
I mean, I assumed it was Chaos Bolt, but I never heard the actual words Chaos Bolt, so I
Sorry.
didn't want to assume.
17 plus 5.
I mean, see if you crit. You took advantage, so
Oh,
see if you crit.
sorry. That one was a 22 total. And that's a 23 total.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Who are you shooting at? I assume not the asleep one.
This
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Give me that Chaos Bolt damage.
And it's 2d8 and
Mhm.
1d6.
2d8 and 2d6, yeah.
So they're gonna get. There you are. Acid damage.
All right. How much?
7 damage.
7 points of acid damage. Okay.
I was really crappy.
Roll me a d8.
Yeah, right.
A d8.
Yep.
3.
You're good. I keep forgetting to do that. Every time you cast a spell, I'm supposed to make you roll a d8, and if you roll a 1, then you have to roll on the table.
Ah,
I'm forgetting that. I changed it from a d20 because that doesn't happen nearly enough.
yeah.
Gintrix. Did you have anything else, Genesis?
No.
Gintrix.
I'm gonna look at the one that just beat the shit out of Oligar, and I'm gonna say, hey, ugly, you swing that thing like a goblin, and I need him to make a DC 15 Wisdom save
Wiz.
for
Okay, yeah.
vicious mockery.
He
It.
is really good at these. A 0.
Nice. He takes 1 point of psychic damage, but
1?
yeah, but also he has
Wait, what spell is this?
vicious mockery.
Oh, it's Vicious Mockery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he
I
takes-
thought it was Dissonant Whisper. Sorry.
He
1
takes
point.
1
Gotcha.
point of psychic damage, but he also has
He
disadvantage on
has
his next
the
attack roll.
disadvantages. That's good. Yeah. Solid. Anything else?
He has disadvantages.
No, I'm gonna stay right where I'm at so I can keep a good eye on that other guy if he
Alright.
starts waking up.
Oligar.
How bad off is big and ugly in front of me?
The one in front of you, he is bloody.
All right.
He's looking hurt. He's not sure he's gonna get another swing with that mine card. He might just have to punch you.
Getting tired.
Yeah. He's done his 10 reps. He's out.
That's fair.
He needs a breather.
Let's just swing it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, do it.
That's 6 plus 6, 12.
Yep. All day.
And damn, do we want to? Probably not. Probably shouldn't,
Do it.
but I kind of want to. I mean, fuck it. I'm gonna smite him.
This is such a cool action, fight track.
Yeah, I really like it. It kind of feeds into the cogs too.
Yeah.
Like
It's.
I feel like it's industrial.
It's called Cry Havoc.
Oh,
Love it.
nice. So we are
Yeah, here for it.
smiteing this guy.
Oh, we doing some divine smite?
We are.
Oh my
I
God.
guess you only have first level at this point, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so just you get to throw on what, an extra 2d8?
2d8.
Crazy.
2d6 and 2d8. So, bruh.
Smite
They're
me,
immune to radiant.
Thank
mighty
God
Satan.
I can reroll the ones on the regular weapon damage.
Holy butt, is that 14 on the? Holy cow!
Yeah.
How much?
6, 12, 22.
Plus your
Plus 4.
so 26. Wow! Holy crap! Whoa! Hero point to Oligar. Exact damage.
Yeah!
Nice.
Exact death.
It's a good thing I did that 1 point of psychic damage.
Yeah.
Gendrix is going to take some credit there.
Yeah.
For a minute, I was like, "Is the woe like he has 1 life left?"
No, like exact, like it was exactly lethal. It was exactly lethal.
Definitely not flawless victory.
No.
Not even close.
Dole will walk over to the one that's asleep and stab it in the neck,
Okay.
and it dies.
He likes it in
Nice.
sausage rolls. That was worth the spell slot. It's gonna be super sad.
All right,
That
so
was a waste.
what do you do?
You said they had some sacks hanging off of their belts,
They do.
right?
They do.
I'll start checking those sacks out.
Give me an investigation check.
Handle these sack.
Do they look about goblin sized?
They look like they'd hold, I believe, it's about the size of a gallon of milk
Oh, okay.
would fit inside this sack.
I got a 17.
So like the size of a
Investigation.
plastic bag from the grocery store, basically.
Hmm.
17.
Mhm.
They're empty.
They're empty. There's
Yeah.
nothing in them. Okay. And they have, just aside from the loincloth, they have no other kind of like clothing of any.
You can see that the one that was swinging the mine cart. There's a great club like on the ground near him. The other two had just these like nasty like clubs with like nails driven through them.
Ooh.
Yeah, like really gross
Like-
looking clubs, but I mean nothing you'd want to like pick up.
Yeah.
How big is a ogre crate club?
An ogre great club
Yeah.
is like 4 or 5 feet long.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
That's a hefty boy.
Ogre tree trunk.
All right. Can I open one of the bags and smell it? Like
Yeah.
waft it?
Uh huh.
Because I don't want to,
Waft.
direct inhale.
Sure. No, it smells like a leather. You know, not like well oiled or anything. But it smells like kind of a musty,
Like
oily,
nothing had
leathery
been
smell.
in it. At least nothing
Not that has
residual.
not that has a scent.
Nice.
Would I know, like, okay, and I guess this is for, like, other creatures we run across.
Mhm.
Like, is there stuff in my brain that I would know? Like, would I need certain pieces of creatures? Or
Are you
I
even
wouldn't?
sure that you have a brain?
I mean, not really.
Yeah.
Let's
You would,
experiment.
so some basic things like if you there's a creature called a fire toad. You know, like that's it's a gallbladder. It's like a useful spell component. Yeah.
So, like, as we run across creatures, I'll just ask you, like, if I know if there are pieces of them I should
Yeah.
take.
You can
Okay.
you can give me an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Ogre nad.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over there and just be like looking at it, thinking
Yeah.
about it.
I mean, and you can buy alchemy books when you go to bookstores and read them and like learn information.
That's a natural 20.
A natural 20. Yeah,
Nice.
they're ogres.
Dang it.
They ain't got no special bits. I mean, you could harvest their brains because it's a delicacy, ogre brain,
Okay.
like ogre sweetmeats.
Do I have
Ogre
that?
sweetmeats.
Yeah, I have a dagger. So yeah, I'll do that.
All right,
I'll
give me
start
a-
like
Give me a. This is gonna be a fun one. You ready for this?
yeah.
This is gonna be a dexterity nature check.
How do you roll two of them like that?
So you're gonna roll a dexterity check, right? And do you have proficiency in nature?
Yes.
Then you get to add your proficiency bonus
Okay.
because you have proficiency in nature,
Yeah, I was gonna
which
tell
is
you
normally
some
intelligence.
Wild shit.
But
23.
a 23 total. What'd you roll on a die?
I rolled an 18 on the die.
Dear God. Oh yeah, I forget you have a high dex. You're a dexy sorcerer. I forgot. Yeah, 23. It takes you a little bit of time, and like while you're doing this, and it's just for one. You basically like slice the head, and then you have to like grab like a hammer and a chisel that are on the ground at this switching station, and like you chisel this thing's skull open, and you're able to pull. And it's strange, as big as it is, its brain is about that big.
Yeah.
It's like the size of a grapefruit.
I'm assuming I have like some form of jar or something to put
I mean,
that in.
yeah, like everyone, like it's assumed like everyone has like a backpack and.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably have a big.
Don't you want to put that in one of their bags?
No.
Keep
this
your
is fine.
bags smell from. Okay, I'm going to have to buy you some new clothes after all.
Smell like ogre brain.
You can add to your inventory one ogre brain that you can try to sell.
Yummy.
So, that was 3 of them. That was not very
and
fun.
Dole just kind of looks. He goes, like you see, he goes with a spear and like pokes some of her. He goes, yeah, I don't think this is what we're looking for.
I would imagine
These are just cronies.
So, are there any of the workers that were down here? Are there any of them still around? Are they like reemerging?
Eventually, like they all sort of, when you guys like charged in and started attacking the ogres, they kind of stopped and are watching it from the outside, and you can see some of them are starting to sort of make their way back. You see there's like a group of like 8 dudes are like tying ropes around one of the ogre's legs, like dragging it out of this huge terminus.
Where did they come from?
It's just, from that mine shaft over there. And he points.
I'll look at Dole and say, where does that lead?
He goes, that's probably the one that Fezgo was talking about. That should lead down to where we think where his hovel might be.
Well, might as well head that way.
It might be. I mean, we might want to check out the other terminus real quick. I mean, it's up to you, but I would say, we're it's only about another mile to the next terminus that Fezgut put on your list there. So,
Is it somewhat on the way?
no, not at all. Well, I mean, the tunnel is over there, but the terminus is kind of that way.
I see.
Now, once we get to the terminus, we could cut back through another tunnel.
That's what
and
I
probably
meant.
intersect into that tunnel.
Is it? We wouldn't have to backtrack. To
No,
go the other
I
way.
don't. Not a lot. Maybe a little bit.
Okay. What do you think?
I think we should try out the last one on the map, and then we could, go back.
It couldn't hurt. I mean, it could.
We are here to exterminate ogres, so we may as well see if there are any lurking about, right?
Right.
Maybe we could save one shipment.
Perhaps.
I'll grab a couple of the bags as they're like dragging them off, and then
Okay, so you just like unlace them from their
yeah,
belts. Okay.
and then just walk off.
All right.
Okay.
Lead the way, dog.
Okay. You travel once again for about another 30 minutes or so to cover this distance. And when you get to this terminus, everything's running smooth. You don't see any ogres slinging minecarts about. It does not appear as busy. You get the sense that maybe some of the trains that were just thrown off of the tracks were supposed to be coming through here at some point, but they're not.
Are there any workers about?
Yeah, there's a lot of workers. There's like a couple of like towers, and the other place had this too, like little squat watchtowers. And you see there's guys up in them. You see there's guys walking around that have notebooks. When a lot of the trains stop, like one will come up. There'll be one going across this way, so one will stop when it gets up to it, and the guy will come over, and you see he basically like plugs something into the war train that's pulling it, and you see it looks like he pulls down some, what he's doing is pulling down the information for the checkpoint, basically.
Gotcha.
I mean, you like Gendrix may not know that, but just to give you an idea of like what you're seeing.
Fantasy data.
Yeah. Yep.
Got it.
Fantasy logistics. This is UPS.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Do we looking at? There's tunnels everywhere that they could come out of, or
Yeah. So basically, you went through a different tunnel that had like you're walking alongside a train track, and there's enough room so that if one came, you're out of the way. You're walking through a different tunnel that then opens up into another one of these large caverns, and that's kind of how ever since when you first got down here, it was one big large open area, and that's where the big city where Bargog was. But then as you went out from there, you went through a tunnel that brought you to an opening where that shack was, and it's a lot of tunnels. You can see there are trains that go up, and there's tunnels above you and tunnels below you. Like it's
we feel like the orcs could come from anywhere.
the ogres.
Ogres, my bad.
I mean, they yeah. I mean,
They're
because you
all
see
green.
trains coming out of all these passages as well. That's why you figure the terminuses are big places to attack, because everything kind of comes through there and reroutes on its path.
So, do we want to wait here and see if they attack? At least for a little bit before we head down to Molgog.
Well, my thinking is that if this Molbog has some sort of semblance of intelligence or some sort of at least organization to these cretins, they would be expecting them back by now, and they may come looking for them. So it may be best to just go on to try to find Molbog.
Well, if he sends out a search party, maybe we won't have to deal with them.
Maybe.
Maybe he'll come himself, and then we can take care of it. Or we could, maybe if we were stealthy enough, we could follow them back to him.
That's possible too.
I put my hands on my hips and say, I'm quite stealthy, and at the same time, my loot bounces off my back a couple of times.
So,
I don't think we should wait, personally. I think that we should make our way towards where they think they are.
And then if we're lucky, we can try to hide.
Yeah, when you say that, Doge sort of, she goes, it doesn't seem like too bad of an idea, right? If they're there, we can fight them and attack. If they're not there, we can set up an ambush. Might work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we may not get lucky. They may not show. They may already be gone. There may be 20 of them there. Who knows? Because you guys seem like you're pretty quiet. Shoot you a meaningful glance. I figure we could probably sneak in if Stringy McString Pants over here doesn't, give our position away.
Don't you know how to track?
Somewhat.
That means no.
In another life.
Yeah.
No, you still got all those other gems.
At some point in my life. So, I mean, it's possible, but I mean, I can look at the ground and see if there's any like recent tracks or anything,
Yeah, I mean, do you want to look here or?
like the tunnel that leads off.
Yeah, where do you want to look for tracks? I mean, you can look anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just
Is that nature you would use?
It's
So
survival.
where do we want to look? Do we want to look here? Do we want to go down this tunnel? Do we want to go back to where we were?
Dole kind of looks. He goes, "Well, I mean, the tunnel they came from, you're obviously gonna probably find tracks."
Right. So we
Probably
know
going
where
the
they
wrong
came
way.
from. What's the point of tracking them?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you kind of have an idea of at least where they came from. We assume his hovels down there, but they could have been coming from somewhere else. I don't know.
Perhaps we should try to start tracking where we believe they came from.
Yeah. So we'll go down this tunnel. If we lose track of them, then we'll start tracking. How about that?
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
So you start heading down the tunnel. Give me a wisdom survival check. Because it's a bit rocky. There's not a whole lot of dust here for tracks to show up in, but there might be something.
14, 17, 18.
That is sufficient. Yeah, you're able to. You see the tracks going out. You're able to kind of follow them and see sort of like spots on the wall where there's like ogre sweat. And you can smell their stink and
Sweat.
see where they've like broken, like as they've like run past things like broken like fences on the wall. Because there are places like closed up tunnels that have like wooden fences blocking them off, like don't go this way.
And they
Type
went
things.
that way.
And some of those would be like like a piece of cloth might be stuck on it, or yeah, you're able to track down this tunnel, and eventually the tunnel kind of comes up to a ridge, and the last you go for about I don't know maybe a mile, around a mile, and it's sort of weaving and curving whatever, but eventually the mine cart goes off and leaves into a different tunnel, the train track that you're following, and but the path in front of you where it diverts off sort of goes up into a bluff, onto a ridge, and you can see over the ridge. You can see there is like this ramshackle town of like huts that are made out of like iron struts and like burlap sacks. You do see a couple of mine carts that look like they're filled with water, and that's kind of the things that you see here.
The huts are like ogre-sized huts.
They're pretty
Or-
big.
Okay.
It's just like we're on a bluff and that's below us. We have no way to get down.
No, you could like scramble down. It's not like a straight drop, but it's like a scree slope. It might be difficult to navigate discreetly.
Well, it's possible we found it.
Maybe we should observe it for a moment before we make any decisions.
Is it dark up here where we're at?
It is. There are no natural lanterns.
So I can see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
60 feet. I think everyone can.
Yeah.
Except Ruben.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll just pop a squat.
Okay. Yeah, everyone give me a perception check.
Perception checks always terrible.
It's getting stuck
Natural
on my
one,
hand.
dog.
Natural one.
Good job, dog.
Oligar.
Oh,
5.
nobody got
Niner.
no joy for anyone. Yeah. You don't see any movement where you're like as you're looking down.
Well, it seems as though it's clear.
So,
Shall we maybe find a place to hide? And as Dog said, maybe we can ambush at least one of them.
ambush them from here or in the town?
And they're in the town.
Is there a big hut?
They're all
Like
kind
a-
of the same size.
Okay, there's no bigger hut
With
indicating.
your natural one perception check, you don't see a difference between them.
Gotcha. I don't see why not.
So you're just gonna kind of wait here for a bit. Is that what you said? I just missed what you said.
Well, I was
setting an ambush.
Yeah, I was saying that since we don't see any movement, playing off of our terrible perception rolls, Gendrix is now assuming that perhaps there's not that many ogres, and we can get down into the town, and we can just kind of, find the best looking hut and pop a squat in there and wait for one of them to come back, because Gendrix is thinking that nobody's home.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I don't want to ambush them in one of their own huts. I don't want to be trapped in a hut with one of those things.
Does it look like we can? Is it like really crappily made, or does it look like we can get on top of a building down there?
Ooh. That might be an interesting thing to try.
That like a building or a tree? Oh, there's no trees down here, are there?
No, you're underground.
I was trying to think. I was like,
You're in a
not
cave.
trees.
Trees
What's
with
here?
natural light
A
down
rock. Is there like a giant rock?
here.
I mean, there are big rocks everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around for I guess from where we are, I'm not gonna walk around, but I'm gonna try to see if there's something I think maybe I can get on top of and maybe lay flat and not be seen.
So are you gonna leave the bluff?
I don't want to go
Or-
completely down into the middle of the town, but maybe if I can get down enough to see.
You get the idea that if you go onto the scree, you're going all the way to the bottom. There's no
Okay.
real way to stand there. You will slide all the way down.
I say before we go down, we're either all going down or we stay up here.
I agree with that. We shouldn't separate ourselves by this cliff.
Were there a lot of tracks up to this bluff, or was this just where I tracked them?
Here, you actually you don't. The track stopped maybe 200 or 300 feet back. With your survival check, you would have seen that that there was what appeared to be like a caved-in mine shaft. Is about where the tracks began. And the one thing that you do see, just looking at this area, is there are multiple ways out. This isn't the only way in and out.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, there are several other tunnels that end here. Some of them are tunnels that come right out to here. There's you see off to your left a bit. There is another bluff type looking area. You get the idea they probably don't use the bluffs as an exit. At least they might come in this way, but you figure they probably leave through the tunnels that sort of come right out on the ground level.
What? So what do we think? Into the town, or take a rest up here and wait to see what happens?
Would you have shared that information about
Yeah.
So if that's the case, if you don't get the sense that they leave from the bluffs, we could probably, or that they just come in from the bluffs, we might be able to just kind of stay on either side of the entrance, and they might just walk right past us if they come this way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then we could ambush them from here.
If they come in this way?
Yeah,
No, we'll see them.
yeah, exactly.
I'm okay with this.
Okay.
Sound like a good plan to you, dog?
Just, might work. If they even come this way.
If they come this way.
If they don't come this way, maybe we get an advantage.
Well then, Gendrix will kind of walk over to the wall and pop a squat and just kind of sit for a minute.
Okay. Short rest?
Before, I will take a couple of from my adventuring pack and super ghetto rig up a trip trap.
Okay.
Where the path diverged, and then we went on this way.
So, like where what appeared to be a collapsed tunnel, or where the train went different?
Where the tunnel collapsed.
Okay.
Just
yeah,
like
it's about 200 or 300 feet back.
Yeah,
Okay.
back there.
Okay.
Just like a couple pythons and some rope. That's literally it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it.
Okay. About how high off the ground do you set it?
Let's see. They're hefty boys. Got to get a fat foot under there. So, how big is one of their feet? Let me see. I'd say like a foot off the ground.
Okay.
Right. How big
That
is
sounds reasonable. They're like 10 foot tall.
Yeah. Right. Do it like that.
Okay.
It'll work.
All right.
And then I'll go back up there.
Okay. And short rest, or
And then I will attempt to take a short rest.
all right.
As you sit down and begin to bind your wounds, and
Just try to recuperate from your last encounter. You hear a somewhat high-pitched voice screaming or yelling, and you hear the tramp of feet coming down the hallway. And that's where we'll stop for now.
Tramp of feet.
Them damn hookers.
They came to us.
Tramp's feet.
Start to be like, how many?
Go ahead and kill that stream there for us.
The bucket on the head.